Here's your situation now. Wow. The Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, seeing that to me suggests an earth sign. Now, I love the Queen of Pentacles because she immediately brings in this feeling of being in tune with nature. Somebody who is secure. And I love the description behind her too. She's so open and welcoming. So some of you may be focused on an earth sign or somebody with earth in their chart. Now, the other person's feelings. Wow, the Fool. The Fool. I like seeing that. I mean, you know, there's a part of the Fool that says that, you know, this person that may not be ready for commitment, but still, to me, this is taking that leap of faith. It's that new beginning, you know, and this could be them here taking that leap of faith into a new relationship, or even a new cycle in an existing relationship. You know, the Fool and the Magician, for me, I see differently in love readings than, you know, a lot of people, but it's like a new start, a fresh start. Now, the aspects of the relationship, you know, and again, it goes back to your monthly reading, seeing the Eight of Pentacles. There's two parts to this here. Now, to me, this is putting in the work that's needed here for the relationship. If you're in a relationship now, to me, this suggests a new beginning, but you guys putting in some work here to strengthen it. And then the other part of it too is that, you know, if the other person is working too much, it's like they need to make time for you and the relationship. But, you know, as far as like really getting a close bond with this person, it's like really putting in the work that's needed. And again, you know, back to your monthly reading, I feel like this is you changing things. The other aspects of the relationship, the Hierophant, or the High Priest. You know, seeing him, immediately you think of ceremonies, you know, marriage, right? And for those of you who are married in a relationship, it's like I almost feel like it's a renewal of vows almost, you know. And for those of you who are single, I almost have this feeling like if you're planning on going to anybody's wedding here soon, you may meet somebody new, is what I feel like. But maybe this person like needs to make time for the relationship. Like they might be caught up in their work. But, you know, there's potential there with the Eight of Pentacles, that you putting in the work that's needed. But I can't help but feel like looking at it this way. I mean, for those who are single, it's like, yeah, you know, if you're planning on going to somebody's wedding, you might meet somebody there. But as far as those who are in a relationship now, this is like a renewal of vows, is what I feel like. Wow, Sag. Okay, so what will test or support you? Justice. Justice. Again, you know, it's like, it just, I automatically get this feeling of, and I'm looking at it going, are you getting married in a courthouse or are you going to a church? Justice, though, balance and fairness in a relationship. And what I like about justice is that is what describes Venus and Libra, needing fairness and balance in the relationship, you know, making amends for past wrongs. And again, putting in the work to fix or renew a relationship. It's amazing, amazing. But, you know, if you're in like a new cycle in an existing relationship, there's definitely a strengthening going on here. And there's definitely work being put in to correct whatever issues may have happened in the past. But, you know, again, for those of you who are single, I really feel like if you're like going to somebody's wedding, it's like screaming out at me. You're going to meet somebody new, and it could be an earth sign. But, you know, you and the other person are going to have to make time for this. But there's like this overwhelming feeling here of like a really good union. Really good. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. Seeing justice. and the High Priest. My goodness. And the outcome, the Four of Pentacles, you know, to me, when it comes to, you know, fixing a relationship, automatically when I see the Four of Pentacles, I'm like, what the hell are you hanging on to here? You know, this could suggest you being held on to by another person as well, or you holding on to a relationship and like really wanting to correct whatever issues may have happened, you know, wanting that fairness and that balance. Man, man, oh man. But I feel like, you know, looking at it the other way, it's like wanting to hang on to the potential in the relationship, even though there may be some issues here of needing to make time for each other. You know, and for those of you who are single and looking at possibly a new relationship, again, if you're going to somebody's wedding, you're going to meet somebody, but you got to make time for this person. And you really need to look at whether or not you're willing to make any kind of commitments here too as well, especially with the High Priest sitting there. Now, again, with the Four of Pentacles, you know, what are you hanging on to? Is this other person hanging on to you, or are you hanging on to that person and hanging on to the potential of a relationship? Either way, I don't see the Four of Pentacles as a bad thing. You know, I'm half tempted here. You know what? We're going to do it. Let's get a clarifier. Ooh, the Eight of Cups. Yes, yes. So the Eight of Cups immediately says to me, you know, being emotionally done with the situation and needing to walk away from it. When you look at the Four of Pentacles, it's like, I automatically feel like, and I don't feel like this is walking away from a relationship, not with what's going on here, but, you know, it's like, to me, looking at it this way, it's like holding on to the ideas of not wanting to commit is what I feel like. Because with these two sitting here, yes, commitment potential is what is here. So, you know, honestly, I feel like it's like a limiting belief with the Fool. You know, I like to see the Fool as taking that leap of faith. You don't know exactly where you're going to land here, but, you know, it's with regards to relationships, it can suggest like not really wanting to commit. But why? Why? And that's where the Four of Pentacles comes in. Like, maybe you need to walk away from that feeling, right? Because you're jumping into something here. But why are you going to jump into it if you're hanging on to thoughts of not really wanting to commit? You know? And maybe it's because you've dealt with some emotional issues before. Especially for those of you who are single and have like recently ended a relationship or have ended one that was really difficult. It's like you have a new meeting here. We're going to look at Whispers of Love and get some clarifiers on this to see, you know, what's going on here and what you can do to strengthen the bond that you have now. Or for those of you who are meeting somebody new, because I really feel like for those of you who are single, it's going to happen in a ceremony. There's going to be a ceremony and you're going to meet somebody and they're going to be an earth sign, or they're going to have earth in their chart, but they're going to be really like, they're going to have that down to earth feeling, really open, really generous, really in tune with themselves and loving nature. But, you know, are you willing to make time for this? Are you willing to make time for this relationship? Physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. And that is the Queen of Pentacles to me. You know, I almost feel like that as soon as the physical touch is made there, it's like everything's going to change. Sagittarius. And for those of you who are fixing a relationship with Justice sitting there, you're making amends for past issues, but you're also walking away from the past as well, is what I feel like. Past wrongs, walking away from that. Like, you're done with that. We're not going to hang on to that anymore, because not with the High Priest sitting there. No way. No way. It's like, again, a renewal of vows is what I feel like. Express love through gifts. Giving a small token to someone expresses your love to them. Wow. Wow. You know, I mean, the gift of a hug is what I feel like, in even small gifts. You know, if you start that way with a new relationship, it kind of opens the door for you making time for them. And like, again, putting in the work here to fix an existing relationship. I love it. I love that because it doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be some like really super expensive gift, you know? Oh, I love it. I love it. Have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. Beautiful, Sag. It's beautiful. I love it. I love this reading. To me, this is saying that with an existing relationship, you have to have faith in the fact that, you know, wrongs are going to be corrected on both sides, but you need to walk away from hanging on to past pain, you know. And it's like, when it comes to those of you, again, I have this overwhelming feeling when it comes to those who are single and meeting somebody new. If you've been through a breakup before, you know, you have to have that faith that what comes into you now is going to be new. And it may be better than what you have experienced before. But again, it's like you really need to look at if you're going to make time for this. Are you willing to commit? Because again, you can't ignore the power of the high priest sitting there, because that's pretty powerful. You know, it's saying that there is a possibility here for those of you who are meeting somebody new to have a really strong union, you know, and express your love through gifts. The gift of a hug is what I feel like that'll be the spark, right? And it's the same thing for those of you who are working on a relationship, because that's what I feel like here. You know, that physical touch will be the spark. And then have faith. Have faith that this situation will work out the way that you expect it to. Okay, Sag. So what I'm seeing here, I don't like to make predictions. I don't like doing that. I like to give, you know, the advice behind the cards for what you may be dealing with. But I also go with what I feel. I feel like for some of you, if you're going to a ceremony or somebody else's wedding, you're going to meet somebody. And I feel like here that maybe this person is like questioning like commitment. But I also feel this on your part as well too. Like there needs to be time for the relationship. Then again, with the Eight of Pentacles, going back to the monthly reading, to me, this is suggesting that you're willing to put in the work that's needed here, you know, especially if commitment's on the table. Because Justice talks about the same thing, that there may be commitment here. But with the Fool, there's like commitment issues. And with the Eight of Pentacles, it's like commitment seems to be the issue that's going on. Now, for those of you who are in an existing relationship, what I feel like is happening here is that there needs to be some fairness and balance in the relationship, especially when it comes to amending past wrongs and needing to walk away from that and stop holding on to memories of the past. That's immediately what I get looking at these two. Now, usually I don't pull clarifiers for readings like this, but, you know, with that Four of Pentacles, the question for me immediately is, what are you hanging on to? And clearly you need to walk away from it. And Justice being what is testing or supporting the relationship says to me that there may be past issues that need to be dealt with. Now, for those of you who are single and you're going to be meeting this person, what I feel like is if you've been in an emotionally draining relationship before, it's like you need to let go of that, because what you're wanting is fairness and balance in a relationship. And you cannot deny the power of the High Priest sitting in the aspects of the relationship. Commitment seems to be the big thing here. Does the other person want it? Do you want it? It's like something that you need to work out here. But then when it comes to what you pulled in Whispers of Love, I really feel like with physical touch, that's going to be the spark. Whether you're repairing a relationship or you're meeting somebody new. And gifts. Even the smallest one can ignite that spark, right? But I feel like it's a gift of physical touch that's going to like create this like spark between you and the other person. And then have faith. Have faith in the situation. Have faith that if you are single and meeting somebody new, that things are not going to be the same as what you've experienced before. This is something new. You know, again, needing to walk away from whatever past issues you've had to deal with. You know, and for those of you who are strengthening a bond here and hitting like a new cycle in the relationship, have faith. Have faith that this is going to work out the way that you expect it to.